The Southern African Development Community, or SADC, was born of a vision to ensure economic well-being, improvement in the standards of living and quality of life for the peoples of Southern Africa. SADC comprises 15 member states and is a region abounding in natural and cultural wealth. The vast and breathtaking landscapes are studded with countless treasures. However, wildlife, as well as rivers and even culture, do not neatly follow the arbitrary lines on a map that make up national boundaries. The movement of these resources is essential for maintaining population health, viability and resilience to change in the long term. These landscapes are essential to the continued provision of fundamental ecosystem services upon which we, as human race, rely. This is especially true in a world where our footprint as humans is continuing to dissect biological habitats and erode the natural resource base. Consequently, these resources cannot be considered only national assets, but regional and global assets for which the duty of responsibility must be shared. In stark contrast to the rich biodiversity that these nodes offer, they often characterize high levels of poverty amongst the human populations that host these resources, as they bear the highest opportunity cost of being their direct custodians. A combination of factors lock these populations in a tight cycle of poverty, including limited rights to use the resource base, meager livelihood options, inadequate service provision or access to services, and high levels of human-wildlife conflict. The resources upon which these populations rely so heavily are often not managed in a coherent manner by the corresponding agencies across international borders. And this has serious implications not only for the resource in question, but also on human livelihoods. Defined in the SADC Protocol on Wildlife Conservation and Law Enforcement of 1999 as the area or component of a large ecological region that straddles the boundaries of two or more countries, encompassing one or more protected areas as well as multiple resource use areas. Transfrontier conservation areas, or peace parks, differ substantially in spatial parameters and the mix of land use categories. Those adjoining protected areas are referred to as transfrontier parks. Those that encompass an area of multiple resource use areas are referred to as transfrontier conservation areas, or TFCAs. Currently, there are 18 existing and potential TFCAs in SADC in both terrestrial and marine environments at different stages of development. While there is no international convention for TFCAs, these initiatives complement the goals and objectives of a series of international conservation-related conventions. And IUCN has identified over 227 transboundary protected areas worldwide. TFCAs offer a platform for dialogue between countries across traditionally competing sectors and stakeholders. They create an enabling environment to explore more conservation-compatible livelihood options, to experiment with novel means of addressing human-wildlife conflict, to find solutions to the challenges that arise at the interface between human, livestock, and wildlife health, to secure connectivity between protected areas, to develop integrated land use plans, and to determine landscape approaches to the management of specific species and resources. By working closer together, neighboring states are able to secure the resource base for the long-term benefit of their people on both sides of the border.
Our responsibility is to ensure that community aspirations are met. We must give our community the rights to use those resources and benefit from them. Through that, they are in a better position to preserve our biodiversity.
communities in harmony with nature, people appreciating the God-given gifts that we have.
I see the Transfrontier conservation areas as development model that integrates poverty reduction, sustainable management of natural resources, and regional integration, and transforms them into the improvement of our human capital into wealth creation.
Tourism, specifically, is seen to have the potential to drive socio-economic improvement in TFCAs. A number of cross-border products have been explicitly designed and are being implemented with other efforts to ease the traveler's experience while traversing TFCAs. The realization of TFCA objectives is no slight or menial task. The initiatives are complex and ambitious and are long-term commitments. Success thus far should be acknowledged.
The gates are open.
These, in a large part, are due to the shared vision and commitment of the leaders of the SADC member states, the dedication of their government officials and field staff, combined with the formidable support of communities and innumerable non-governmental organizations working tirelessly on the ground, and the belief of the international donor community in the vision. Leading by example, by standing at the helm of TFCA development, SADC member state governments play a central role of unlocking the door for multi-stakeholder engagement and partnerships.
Somos fortes e invencíveis.
We are strong and invincible
Quando lutamos unidos.
when we are together.
The better we cooperate as nations in Africa and throughout the world, the more difficult it will become for criminals to exploit our vulnerable wildlife resources.
And our kids are going to come. We want them to find this natural beauty in the state we founded. And that, I think, is the greatest gift to mankind.
I therefore know of no political movement, no philosophy, no ideology which does not agree with the peace pact concept.